Okay, so welcome to the call, everybody. My name is Jackie Boyle and I live in Sydney, Australia, and very happy to be coming to you from our spring heading into summer. Well, some of my favourite months, I've got to be honest. And I do apologise, as I said, we were going to get, Dr. Ahrens is venturing in, so I shall let him into the room. So let's see if we can get him started. Yeah, we will have him on board to be able to talk about 24/7 once we can get him up and running. Oh, we've got him with a funny little background.
Okay, I'll get rid of that.
I think so. I was just about to do my testimonial, so you've saved me. Saved me for another day. So we have a nice little plant background. Okay, well, welcome everybody to the call today, and I want to welcome Dr. Ahrens to the call, and we're very privileged to have you here. And for those of you that have known Dr. Ahrens, he has a stellar career in regards to what he's done with science and technology, and certainly been a game changer for a lot of people and their health. He has a PhD in plant and animal physiology and food science, a Bachelor of Science in agriculture, and is a leading expert in nutrition. He does really take a lot of pride in being dedicated to metabolic and neurological disorders also. Being a dual nominated Nobel Prize scientist as well in 2015 and 2016 for Ebola, and then also for the work that he's done with Emulin. We really have somebody that is a privilege to have on board and to be able to listen to him bring information to us that we will all learn and be able to take it forward out into the field. So welcome, Dr. Ahrens.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Today, our conversation, we're going to be talking about 24/7 AM and 24/7 PM carb burner, and to be able to understand what the product is, what the difference between the AM and the PM formula is, looking at what the actives, there's two active ingredients that are similar to Emulin, and how it works as a perfect marriage, so to speak, if you're going to be using two together. So I'll hand it over to you and you can present to us.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here this evening. I hope everyone is getting along okay, not having any fights in the house on each other's nerves. I think maybe I have a new product for that, and if we do this much longer, you know how to deal with COVID in your household. So I wish everybody well. I would like.
I don't want to do it off my phone.
I will. I'd like to talk a little bit about Emulin itself. It was our first product, and then we'll talk about where 24/7 is, how it fits into that. You know, we didn't know it at the time. It was some years ago. Now it's been, wow, over 10, 14 years when we first discovered Emulin, the concept of Emulin. Really, I know it's a very exciting subject for me, but let's just, for brevity, we'll say that we were looking in fruits and vegetables and found a class of compounds, natural compounds, that were just like vitamins. They were essential for your body to work properly. And the first area we looked at was sugar metabolism. When you eat sugar, you need these flavonoids, that's what they're called, flavonoids. You need flavonoids in your diet along with that sugar, and that helps your body process that sugar. Not just helps, but is actually required for the sugar to be processed. And without those flavonoids, your body goes on high alert. It feels that it has ingested poison. Inflammation is a result of that, and then long enough you'll get, some of you get diseases. That's really what our discovery was. Diabetes is actually a symptom of metabolism run amok. It's actually, diabetes is the result of an inflammatory response to this sugar poison. Yes, if you eat too much sugar, you're going to store it as fat, too much calories. But why do you develop diabetes? What's going on? It's actually the body trying to not process those sugars because it sends out insulin, and you're taking in this poison, and your body is saying, wait, we don't want that stuff, that's a poison. And so insulin actually sticks that glucose, that sugar, into your fat tissue. And it's our belief that that's the #1 reason that you get overweight. It's not because you had too many calories, it's because your body is just trying to get rid of that sugar and stuff that sugar into your fat tissue to store it, just like it would a heavy metal. If you got some metals in the environment, just like, you know, fish do this, they eat things and have heavy metals in them, and like mercury, and it ends up in their fat tissue because that's where the body stores those types of poisons. And we thought that was the end of the story. So Emulin is flavonoid, a group of flavonoids, and they absolutely not only help, but are required to process sugars properly so that your body doesn't become insulin insensitive and then you become diabetic or overweight. So yeah, that was great. We went about our business. We thought this, wow, we discover a new vitamin here that's necessary to process sugars. Well, we kept hearing though from people taking the product that, wow, you know, I am losing weight, and I feel better. I'm more alert. I just feel alive now. Well, it's because their body was not lethargic, their blood being loaded up with these sugars, and so it processed them how it should, instead of dysfunctional carbohydrate metabolism. That's the fancy word for it, dysfunctional carbohydrate metabolism. So we say a deficiency in flavonoids, specific flavonoids, cause dysfunctional carbohydrate metabolism. And we found the very best ones that help your body like this. You know, there's like over 6,000, 6,000 to 10,000 of these types of chemicals in these plants, natural good compounds. And we found the best combination of 3 that it really is needed for you to process these sugars. Well, people, as they were coming to us saying, yeah, this is really working, but I want to let you know something. I had psoriasis last month and it's kind of gone away. And someone else would say, wow, you know, I had this tennis elbow here and I don't feel it anymore after a couple of months. So we started looking at, there was so many reports coming in. We were actually on a book signing tour. My partner and I, when people would come up, not to get our autograph on the book, but they said, you know, I want to tell you about this psoriasis. It's gone away. My arthritis has gone away. And can you give me a discount on your book? So I said, yeah, sure, why not? So I found out that these people actually was all back to that inflammation. Remember I said that the body thinks that carbohydrate is a poison. It results in inflammation, and then you can get some disease condition. Well, the real control point is right there around that inflammation. It's the chemical that is regulating that, causing that, is tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF alpha. It is the kingpin of the inflammatory pathway. It's the switch that turns on all the inflammatory cascade. And so how do you get inflammation? Well, from eating too much sugar. I just told you that. And the other thing is in our environment. A lot of things can cause you to have inflammation, dust, pollen. You could be allergic to something, or just, you know, actually light, certain fluorescent lights and magnetic waves. They can actually, they bombard your body, even noise and traffic. This puts you in stress and you can get chronic inflammation. And if it's not regulated and controlled, then it can lead to long-term damage and many autoimmune responses. So that is the real picture here. Emulin is regulating carbohydrate metabolism, but simultaneously it's regulating the inflammation resulting from the so-called poison. So we turned our focus to that, and we ended up making 2 Emulins, Emulin C and Emulin M. Emulin C is for particularly emphasis on sugar metabolism. Emulin M is more emphasis on the inflammation. Now they both regulate sugars and they both regulate inflammation, but C is more focused on the sugars and M is more focused on inflammation. So now people mostly take the product, most people just for the inflammation, and we do not cure any diseases. We're here about supporting your body, just like vitamin C supports your immune system. Emulin supports your immune system better than vitamin C. In fact, it's required, just like vitamin D, E, K, etc. Emulin, that's what we're proposing to all the government officials, is that Emulin is like a vitamin, and it should be considered essential. So let's fast forward then. Emulin's getting us out into the world. Companies that are helping us do that. There have been several companies. One of them, as many of you know, we're working with very closely now is Valentis. And they're doing a pretty good job of rolling that out. And the more people that know about it, the better. Tell your friends and your neighbors, because everyone needs it. But we were approached and said, you know, you guys seem to know something about flavonoids and weight loss and things like that. I said, well, I know a little bit about it, and happened to get nominated for a Nobel Prize in that, my team. And said, well, we would like to have a product that is really focused on weight loss. And with your type of technology and insulin and carbohydrate metabolism, et cetera, you should put together. What would you do if I said, okay, you're free to design a weight loss product? You don't have to have any preconceived ideas. And we thought about it a while, a couple of months, and got our team together. Got together with our manufacturer in Southern California, and we came up with a concept here of 24/7, AM, PM, 24/7. Well, what does that mean? Well, 24/7, it means, around the clock. And then there is an AM when we wake and PM when you're sleeping. So your body is constantly handling sugars and digesting. Metabolism is nonstop. Your body's tearing things apart and putting it back together. That's catabolism and anabolism, and the whole thing together is called metabolism. But it's not. What does that mean? Well, it's the process of pulling molecules apart, like sugar, like food molecules, and then reassembling them into something else. That is going on all the time, but you do it differently when you're awake than when you're asleep. So what do you need when you're awake? What do? Well, you need to be alert. You need to be alert. You don't want to drive a car into the ditch. And you need to have energy, and you need to burn fuel, and then you need help with appetite control. I mean, really, come on, you can't just put a piece of duct tape over your mouth. It's okay, I'm on a diet. No, you need to be able to control your appetite, just feel less hungry. What's another thing causes people to gain weight? Stress. Absolutely. Now, there's two reasons for stress. One of them is when your body is under stress, a fight, a lion's going to eat you. You got to run away or fight, do something. You're under stress, and your body is thinking, wow, I need to consume calories. I'm going to be in a fight. I got to run out of here. Whatever, I'm going to, your heart starts pounding. You start breathing harder. And that's the fight or flight syndrome. You got to be prepared. Inside your body, all these little doors are opening and closing, opening, pumping sugar into cells, making, energy, using up this fuel. And then your lungs are breathing, so you get more oxygen and burn that fuel, on and on and on. Heart's beating, get the oxygen, it's circulating throughout the body. And your body's under stress, it starts taking on more fuel. It starts taking it out of not only just your fat tissue, but you'll start eating more. Well, it also, people eat because they get nervous. I mean, they get stressed, they eat because it's a habit. It's just like any other habit. Like some people, always got a nervous habit. Well, you do the same thing, but you eat. People will eat. They get under stress, they eat. So there's a hormone right in the middle of all this. Cortisol, I think all of you have heard that. It's called the stress hormone. It actually causes you to be hungry. It's there on purpose, fight or flight. Hey, you need to eat something. And you go looking in the refrigerator and go eat it. You know, there's no lion outside in your living room, but you're still in there. You want to eat because you want to be ready to run away. So that you can eat a lot because of the stress, because you're just nervous, or you also eat stress because the cortisol is saying, load up, load up, load up. And then we got other hormones like leptin that make you be hungry or not. Your body does not like to change. I'm telling you, you want to lose 5 pounds and you stop eating. And why does it go right back up? It's because your body is comfortable where it is. I don't care if you wear 100 pounds, 100 kilos. Your body wants to stay there. And it has signals built into your fat tissue that are constantly monitoring all of your fat cells. They actually talk to each other. And you try to shrink them and get rid of them. They say, wait, eat more, eat more, eat more, and then make you hungry. So this is what we did with the AM. We put natural plant compounds in there, natural ones, nothing synthetic, that we think belong in your diet anyhow, and you don't have them there now. Just like Emulin, these things belong in your diet, and they are there to help you be a little calm, not stressed, but not sleepy. Also, they help you process those sugars, keep them out of where it shouldn't go, keep it out of fat tissue, get it into the brain tissue, get it into muscle. You already feel alert without stimulants because the sugar is going where it should be, right in your brain. You know, your brain just lives on glucose. So it goes into your brain, you feel more alert, you feel more awake. And we currently, in the current 24/7, we do have caffeine in there. It is a very small amount, but however, caffeine in the right amount is good for you. Now, if you're already drinking 25.5 cups of coffee and 5 cups of tea a day, maybe you don't want to have 24/7. You might be a jitterbug. But caffeine is excellent for you and has a lot of other things going for it. It has been shown to fight cancer and a bunch of things like that. Make people live longer, have less stress on their heart, actually. Too much, bam, it's bad for you. Just like a lot of things, you know. If you don't have enough water, you're going to die of thirst. If you have too much, you're going to drown. So the right low level of caffeine is excellent. So we have also the PM. What do you want to do in the PM? What's different in the PM? Well, you're asleep, you know. Most of us are asleep. And our brain is totally different. It does not run on the same amount of glucose. It still needs glucose, but it needs it processed slowly. You know, and unfortunately, we go to bed just after we eat a piece of chocolate cake, and then got sugar going into your bloodstream for hours sometimes, and your brain is wanting to think. You know, we all dream, and it's certainly working, but it is a slower rate, a different type of work. It does not want a lot of sugar all at one time. So we have in nighttime the ability to just really slow that down so it trickles into your brain. We actually have little doorways in the cells in your brain that close a little bit. Glucose transporter 4, it's called, glucose transporter 4. And and in this product, it slowly closes those doors. Doesn't slam them shut, but it just slowly closes it, lets it trickle in there. Another thing is you really need sleep. If you're going to lose weight, you need to sleep good. So why do you think that is? I mean, somebody that is not sleeping well, I've never seen them be able to have a good diet. You would seem like they wouldn't sleep and then they would just wither away. Well, no, it's the exact opposite. Exact opposite. What happens is the stress. If you don't sleep well enough, you go into stress. Okay, I just told you what happens from stress. Leptin tells you to start eating. Cortisol comes out there and says you better start looking for that chocolate cake that you had yesterday. And so you start gaining weight. Your body wants to take on this weight because it's prepared itself. It says, man, we're going to go to war or something. The house is going to burn down. I better take on some fuel. So unless you can get good sleep, you can't really have a good weight control, weight management product. And we have put in there a small amount of melatonin. So what in the world is that all about? Well, your body, when you wake up in the morning and you see blue light, which is most of the light that's in white light, blue skies, the chemical that prepares you to sleep, it completely goes away. So it starts at zero. And then throughout the day, it builds up little by little by little by little, little by little. And things like tryptophan, which is surprisingly found like in Turkey, they actually help you accumulate this sleep dream chemical, if you will. And by 9 o'clock, it really picks up. And then about 2 a.m. in the morning, for most people, it's at its peak level. And that is what sends you into rapid eye movement sleep. And that's where you report, man, I slept so well and I had vivid dreams. It's just great, you know, and you wake up in the morning, you feel great. And if you miss that, and man, so many people miss it, you're going to actually end up the next day taking on more calories than you had before. So this is a product that causes people to dream, actually. Now, you can't have a lot, and different countries have different requirements about how much you can put in, and I don't know exactly the list of them because, you know, that's not my job. I just make the products and other people sell them. But we are trying to make a product that will fit every country. Some of the countries allow 100 milligrams, others 50, some 200. But everybody needs it. So, and while we're on that, I'll tell you, get rid of light, particularly blue light, in your bedroom. Turn off your phone a couple hours before bedtime. If you can't do that, at least get one of these screen converters, this little program that'll make you light and make it brown kind of looking and take out the blue, because the blue will knock out that dream chemical and you won't be able to sleep. I mean, even tape over even every little one you've got in your bedroom. You know, I've got chargers here that have little blue lights. It looks so cool, but they will, in the nighttime, if you wake up in 3 in the morning, the whole room looks blue and it's killing that dream chemical. Get rid of those and you will actually lose weight more. So we have, and then there are no stimulants, of course, in the PM. It's to calm and soothe you, help you sleep. It processes the sugars, lets them dribble into the brain. Then the AM during the day, without being any stimulants there, it helps your brain wake up because it opens the doors more in the brain for the sugar to get into that brain. 2 different distinct formulas. It comes in 2 different bottles. 1 AM with a red cap for daytime and a blue cap for PM for nighttime. And 2 of those natural products are also in the Emulin. And when you take them together, wow, you know, it's almost like rocket fuel. Surely everyone needs Emulin. You know, cradle to grave, everyone needs Emulin. And if you're sick, you need it more. And if you're an athlete, you need it even more. If you're on the couch, you need it particularly if you're on the couch, you know, so you can get up and walk across from the couch to the refrigerator. You need to have Emulin. And so that's for everybody. Then if you do want to particularly manage weight, you can layer 24/7 on top of that Emulin. And it's not just about weight. It's about your whole body's machinery operating properly. Doors of different things opening and closing in different parts of your brain. Your capillaries in your blood network will expand and be flexible and more permeable in good ways. You will have lower blood pressure on purpose. Your blood will clot at the right rate. You don't have to worry about clots. And these things should be in your diet. So we have two of the ones that are in Emulin. They're also in 24/7. You put it together, it pulls those levels up higher and really gives a 1-2 punch in your overall body. So I hope I've answered some questions here in this little short talk. I do want to stick to just a half an hour, but remember that Emulin, everybody needs Emulin. It's made out of the best flavonoids found. We looked around over 6,000 of them and looked at the perfect combination of 3 of them, and that's Emulin. One of them is mostly for carbohydrate management. The other one's for inflammation. M and C. C is for the carbohydrate control. So let's remember that C. M is for maintenance for everyone else, to maintenance of the inflammatory system. Then add 24/7 on top, and not only will you see some improvement or help in your weight management, but you will feel like you just woke up. I mean, you have less headaches, you'll feel more energy. It's because it's like putting oil in your body, like putting chemical oil into your chemical system, and your whole machinery runs better. I know that there's plenty of testimonies of people finding that out by accident. They said, oh, Emulin's great for inflammation, and let me try this new 24/7 for weight loss. And it really, after a while, they wouldn't even care about the weight if it went off or not, because they just felt they were functioning so much better. And you do, your tendons slide better, your cartilage becomes strong because it's helping your body do what it should be. It's truly supporting your body's mechanism to heal itself. So Jackie, what you'd like to propose some questions to me, or what would you like to do?
I'm sorry, I wasn't going to interrupt. So I was just reading through some of the comments through here, and one of them that I found quite interesting, because it's something that I noticed as well, was that Carla had said that she's seeing stretch marks actually become lighter, and I know that was one of the things that I had noted as well, and from being in the fitness industry for a lot of years, it was quite interesting. Are you able to just explain why that happens, Dr. Ahrens, please?
Yeah, so stretch marks are actually our wounds. That's all there is to it. They're wounds, and you can get stretch marks for different reasons, particularly because from pregnancy, as an example. But they're wounds. You're actually have torn the fiber, and this gets back to overall skin. Right underneath your skin is a lot of collagen. It's a connective tissue right underneath your outer dermis. And these products will actually cause the wounds to further heal. So there's scar tissue, there's displaced collagen. Elastin is another one. That's what keeps everything flexible, like on your face, and I don't have too many wrinkles, do I? How do I look there? So it depends on the light. I said, this is my best side. Yeah, there's a good light. So look how good my skin is. No, I tell you, I look really good for a 102-year-old man. So it really does work. People will tell you that their skin tightens up, wrinkles go away, stretch marks get lighter, because what's put in there are pigments that are part of the healing process. And your body doesn't care what it looks like in that regard. So it goes ahead and puts in these pigments, and it never quite heals complete. And so these products, and actually whether 24/7 is definitely one that will help there, but even the Emulin will do it a little bit. But it helps, it further gets your wounds under control, even older wounds.
So Dr. Ahrens, Jim's actually said too on here, which I find this really interesting too, in regards to owning a fitness center for 25 years, and my husband being a professional athlete himself and retired now, but in the coaching. But Jim actually is a bodybuilder, and he was just saying that since he started taking 24/7, since his last show. He said he's a lot leaner now than the last show, and too easy to stay ripped. So he's finding it really beneficial in regards to muscle definition. Can you just elaborate on that one also?
Yeah, it's actually quite a good product for stripping, if people know what that is, to get stripped and ripped. And it actually causes the fat to give up a lot of the fatty acids and glucose. I told you that your body doesn't like to do that. It wants to hold on to that fat tissue. Even when you have a restrictive calorie diet, and if you don't have enough sugars to go in there, you get rid of it, your body will actually make new sugar out of acids in order to keep you replenished where you were. Well, this actually helps your body pause that system to let you lose that weight. And it's not so much weight as it is replacement, muscle mass for fat. Fat does not turn into muscle. It can't do that. But you build muscle at the same time as you reduce the fat itself. And even those people that feel, well, I didn't lose the pounds I thought, I'll tell you what, measure yourself and you will see that the centimeters and inches get off of you. Your pants will be loose and you'll get a smaller waist. And we measured people at the upper arm, waist, thighs, hips, chest area. And some people were losing up to almost 20% of the circumference of their waist in a month. That's a lot. I mean, that's a huge amount, 20%. So what does that mean? Going from a 50 waist to a 40 waist. Now I'm calling out the most extreme examples, but many other people went from a 50 waist to 45 or 46. And because this favors the process of keeping the sugar and fatty acids out of the fat tissue. Those are some of the doors it closes. And that's also a glucose transporter 4, but it's ones that are in the fat tissue. It'll close those. And so the fat will actually leak. So the name of it is called fat leaking. It's lipolysis. So, and then your muscle mass is promoted because it keeps the right amount of carbohydrates available around your muscles. You can't build muscle without carbs. You need protein and you need carbs, and there's a ratio in there. And so this is what the product does. You'll see that you get ripped, you get much more definition.
Dr. Ahrens, thank you. I've got 3 very short questions and then we can let you go. And I know a lot of people have asked this question too in regards to if they had a choice to take Emulin or 24/7. I personally would say both, but what would your answer be to them?
One or the other. Emulin. Everybody needs Emulin. It's essential for life. If you take it after a while, you'll just feel like you woke up. And maybe you take it a month or 2 months. For me, it was almost immediate. For my family, a couple of days. Some people, it has taken them a month. I don't like products that take 2 and 3 months. I mean, I think if you don't feel it's working, it's probably not working. So, I try to say less than a month, you'll see something going on. And some people say, well, I tried it for a month and 2 months and I'm not going to take it anymore. I don't see any difference. So they quit the product and then boom, they feel like they're going to sleep because they didn't realize how Emulin was helping them. They were much more alert and it came on every day, a little by little, and then they get rid of the Emulin and wham, they feel like they fell asleep. So Emulin, for every reason of your inflammation system, choose M or C. Most people should have M for most, and then C for those who particularly want to control carbohydrate. And they both will do it, inflammation and carbohydrates. But M is more for inflammation, C is more for control. So I would absolutely say Emulin, and then layer on top of that 24/7.
So, Dr. Ahrens, is it okay? I've just got somebody here that's asking that they're a type 2 diabetic and they've got carpal tunnel as well. And they currently take Emulin C. And what is your opinion in regards to taking one Emulin M and Emulin C to get the benefits of stronger inflammation management?
That's really not how it will work. You'd be increasing your quercetin a little bit. The difference is in the quercetin amount. Quercetin is a flavonoid that we get out of onions. It's the most widely available flavonoid on the planet. It is in every fruit and vegetable. Unfortunately, it's in very small amounts. And you couldn't, even if you ate a bushel of onions, which if you do that, do not come over to my house for dinner. But if you happen to eat a bushel of onions, you still would barely have enough quercetin to really help you. However, what does quercetin do? It's the thing that causes the glucose and fatty acids to leak out of fat tissue. It's great for that. And it helps the energy get into muscles, in particular that. Well, that process all by itself is great for losing weight, but it raises your blood sugar. That glucose is coming out of your fat tissue into your blood. So your blood sugar is going to go up. And if you're trying to control blood sugar, that's not a very good idea. So we have enough quercetin in the C to do some benefit, have a benefit, but not so much that it'll cause such a big increase in blood sugar. It's not a dangerous amount, but nevertheless, if you're really counting it and you say, oh, my numbers are 1, 2, 2, and after a while they're 1, 3, 1, you're not going to like that. So go on the C. Now, what you can do is go ahead and double up on the Emulin C, because there's still so much little quercetin in the C. If you took 2 or 3 times the amount of Emulin C, you wouldn't really raise the quercetin a lot. There's only a very trace amount in quercetin just to do the job. But now over in Emulin M, there's a lot of quercetin.
Thank you, Dr. Ahrens. There are just one short question here and then one other one that I think is really important to address. But there's someone's asking a question in regards to being a nursing mother who's given birth 2 weeks ago. Is she able to actually start taking 24/7 whilst she's nursing her baby?
Yeah, every single one of these products here are from food sources. Maybe you don't recognize some of the scientific names, but they're all food products. So unless your doctor has told you not to eat certain foods, then you should take it. There's no problem whatsoever. And that product will get into the milk, and it's great for the baby. These things should be in your diet anyhow. And it'll help the baby develop a very good metabolism. And then particularly in the Emulin, which everybody needs, remember, when the baby starts on solid food, go ahead and start to give them some Emulin. We are working on a gummy bear for Emulin for infants, children, like 3 years old, etc. So yeah, you can have it.
Okay, so the very last question, in regards to Emulin, how can it actually help somebody with Lyme's disease?
Well, Lyme's disease is, I know a couple of people with Lyme's disease, and their immune system, it got severely under attack, and it is no longer functioning properly. Just like a car crash and you try to rebuild it, okay, it's just barely getting down the road now. And Emulin will help stabilize that immune system so that your immune system will then be able to not overreact. And that's what's going on here with Lyme disease. You're actually overreacting now. Once you got the disease, now you're overreacting. Like you got, a type of like super hay fever is how it works. Well, Emulin will help regulate that. Now, it does not cure any diseases. Remember that. It doesn't cure any diseases. And I'm asked a lot about, well, what about, I've got this heart condition, or, I've got a transplant, and I can tell you real specific things. Yes, Emulin will help with transplants. It's been shown that the graft to take better. It helps your immune system. You probably then will have less colds, less flu. And we all know what we're talking about now in this period, and I won't mention it, but you need to protect yourself by boosting up your immune system. This is one of the best ways to do it. It's required to do it. Your body needs these materials. You just cannot get enough in your diet. So if you have Lyme disease or you've had it in the past, and it's not just that, I'll tell you, if you had rabies at one time or another, or a heart condition, yes, everybody needs it. It will help your body operate the best it can, regardless of what your problem is.
Okay, so I want to thank you, Dr. Ahrens. We're going to keep this to the 30 minutes, and we're very grateful that you're able to come on board and to be able to explain what Emulin actually does, and then leading into the benefits and 24/7 AM and PM, and being able to layer that over the top becomes a perfect marriage as you go forward with it. And I speak for myself in that regards. I take both every single day. And the benefits that I've noticed from 24/7 have been instantaneous for me when I started a bit over 12 months, it'll be 18 months ago now. So I religiously take it. My husband even religiously takes it, being a professional athlete, retired, but he still trains like a professional athlete. And the benefits are certainly a lot better, especially in the sleep department for myself. I know that much. So I want to thank you so much, Dr. Ahrens. And for those people that didn't get their questions answered in here, please email it through. I've provided the email there. Make sure you join the group page, Dr. Joseph Ahrens brand. We are trying to get as much information into there as possible for you. And hopefully we are doing that to date. So thank you so much, Dr. Ahrens.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Thank you.